Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about eyelashes, falsies, fake eyelashes, whatever you want to call it. We are going to be diving into all this information. How I got all this information was basically by trial and error and by my own personal experience, as well as some research, because I knew I was going to do this video, so I decided to do a little bit of some extra research for this. So if you are interested, or if you're a beginner, this is probably the best video for you. Or if you just started to wear false eyelashes and are having some troubles with it, this is the place to be. So we're going to be talking about the different types of eyelashes and how different shapes and the different looks and thicknesses, how it will work for you and what kind of eye shape you'll need for certain types of eyelashes, as well as glue, what types of glue are out there for your eyelashes, and some extra tools that you may need for applying your fake eyelashes. Okay, so this video is going to be all of the information, and then I'm going to be making another video on how I personally apply my own eyelashes and some tips and tricks and all that fun stuff. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so first of all, you want to ask yourself, why do I even want to put on fake eyelashes? Like, what is the goal behind all of this? Am I trying to just accentuate my natural eyelashes, or am I trying to change the natural shape of my eyes? And it's not something that happens like literally, it's just like an optical illusion that eyelashes are able to do for your eye. So it depends on what type of look you're trying to achieve as well. There's so many deciding factors, and there are so many types of eyelashes. So those are some questions to ask yourself before you even get to the store or before you order online. What is the goal here? So there are a few types of eyelashes that you'll probably come across when shopping for your first pair of eyelashes. First one being lashes that are shorter on the outer corner and inner corner and longer in the middle. So those type of lashes tend to open your eyes a lot more. So if you have kind of like squintier eyes or like smaller eyes, you might want to make your eyes look a little bit bigger. Those are probably the lashes to go for. There are also lashes that are shorter at the inner corner and gradually get longer at the outer corner. So this kind of lash will elongate your eye. So if you have a smaller eye shape or a rounder eye shape, you might want to make it look more elongated. So those are the type of lashes that you would want to go for. It also gives it a more sexy, like sultry look if you want to go for that as well. Also, there are lashes that are the same length the whole way through, and those come in pretty long lengths. They give a more like doll-like look, like, you know, those like toy dolls that have like the batting eyelashes. The look is pretty unnatural compared to the first two, but it really depends on what look you are going for. So fake lashes also come in strip lash form, which is probably the most popular. So it's basically a band full of eyelashes, and you basically put the glue on the band and place it right on top of your eyelid closest to your natural eyelashes. So this is what they look like. There are also lashes that come in clusters. These are usually called the individual lashes, but they do come with clusters, like more than one eyelash on each part, something like that. So these ones aren't as popular. You just take the cluster, dip it into the glue, and then place it on your eyelash. I feel like it would take a lot longer depending on what you're used to. This is not something that I would really gravitate towards, but really it's just preference. All right, so with all of that being said, there are also different types of hair that they use for these lashes. So I feel like the most popular would be mink or synthetic. Mink is basically animal hair, like a mink fur coat or something like that. They are definitely more on the expensive side, but they're very soft and have a very natural feel. And if you want to reuse them, they actually last a lot longer. There's a lot of controversy when it comes to mink lashes just because of the use of animals and everything, but I've heard that a lot of brands say that they use the fur from zoos during shedding season and things like that. So it's basically your choice choice on whether you want to use them or not, but I personally gravitate away from that. So I usually gravitate towards the synthetic ones. Over the years, they've actually made them better and more realistic looking and very comparable to mink lashes. So I feel like you'll be able to find a lot of brands that use synthetic lashes that actually look very real and soft to the touch. Not as soft as mink, but still pretty soft. There's also human hair, which I also use. It sounds kind of weird, but it doesn't even feel like human hair. That's very comparable to synthetic. And there's also silk that they use as well. I have actually never tried it, nor have I even seen it in stores. Maybe I just didn't notice it, but it's definitely out there. So if you guys want to check it out, then you can go right ahead. Okay, so there's also different bands that you have to take into consideration. And this is actually really helpful to take a look at when you're buying lashes, because it really adds to the comfort factor. How comfortable will it feel on your eyes? So I have an example here of a band that is pretty thick. So for these lashes, the band here is pretty thick. I don't know if you can really tell. And when you're trying to use it or put it on, it's very stiff and hard to like manage and move it around and everything, which makes it really hard to kind of put on because your eye has a curve to it. So if the lashes are pretty stiff, then it will feel uncomfortable on your eyes. So the thicker the band, the more uncomfortable it will feel. It usually pokes right here near the inner corner, only because when it's thick, there's actual corners to the band, so that will actually poke you and it will feel really annoying. Also, when it comes to thicker bands, you're able to feel it a lot more on your eyelids. So if you're not used to wearing eyelashes, I think the thinner the band is, the better it will be. So you're probably going to have to blend it all in with eyeliner just to get a more natural look, a natural feel to it. But a plus side to a thicker band is that it lasts a lot longer. So if you want to reuse your lashes, a thicker band is a lot more durable and will help you out in that sense. Alright, so there are also thinner bands, such as this one. I don't know if you can see it. It's a thin, clear band. Those types of bands are very flexible and really conform very well with your eye. When you have them on, it gives a very natural look because you can barely see the band at all. But for me, I still like to use a little bit of eyeliner just to cover it up in case the band is a little bit too shiny or something like that. But you can definitely get away with a more natural look with that type of band. Also, since the band is so thin, it's very comfortable on the eye. It doesn't poke you near the inner corner as a thicker band would. And the lashes may tend to move around if you're moving it around with like tweezers or something like that, just because it's a very thin plastic. So it's not ideal if you would like to use it more than once. It's a lot harder to maintain since it's a little bit less durable. Also, another thing to take into consideration is the length of the band. So when you're trying to buy your lashes and you're trying to match the length of the band to your eye, I feel like it's a little bit kind of unnecessary because you're still able to cut to the right length. So I feel like you shouldn't worry too much about that and just kind of look at the quality and the shape of the actual eyelashes. Alright, so the last thing you want to look for is the thickness and the length of the lashes. And by thickness, what I mean is the amount of lashes on the band. So if there are a lot of lashes on the band and the eyelashes are really thick, the thicker the lashes, the more heavier the look will be. So if you have smaller eyes, you might not want to use thicker eyelashes because it will literally look like your eyes are closed once you put them on, only if they're too thick. And it also could look pretty unnatural. Although if you have bigger eyes, you might want to go with a thicker lash because it will give your eyes a lot of balance, and you might even want to make your eyes look a little bit closed and more sultry looking, if you know what I mean, instead of really wide and big. So it really depends on what you're looking for, what look you're trying to go for. And then there's also the thinner lashes that obviously give a more natural, more subtle look. And then there's the length, which the longer it is, the more dramatic it will look. And then you have to also take into consideration the placement of the lashes and then the direction of where all the eyelashes go. If you want a more natural look, you might want to look for a more wispier look. So the demi wispies by Ardell are a really popular one. So all the eyelashes are kind of like going in like different directions, just like how your natural eyelashes would actually be like. But there's also like full lashes that are more of like a doll, like a natural type look. And even though it looks unnatural, it may look really good on you. So you just have to try and see which lashes work for you. There are also lashes that they sell that you can use multiple times. I've seen them cost around $25 to $50, and they say you can use them about 20 times. But that really depends on how well you take care of them. So there is a lot of maintenance that goes towards multiple use eyelashes, but that's up to you if you want to go that route. And of course there are eyelashes that are single use. I feel like those eyelashes will probably go from like $2 to $5 a pack for like one pair of eyelashes. Or you can buy a big pack like I usually do. You can buy these at Rexall for $20 a pack. There's 5 pairs in them. Or at Walmart, and I think those ones go for about $13 to $14. But I must admit I have used single-use eyelashes multiple times before, so it really depends on how well you take care of them. Alright, so with that all being said, my best advice to you is to just try them out. Buy like cheap lashes from like AliExpress or something like that. They don't have to be really great quality right away. Just try to see what works for you and what feels most comfortable for you as well. And after you try them out, test them out, you'll actually start to develop your own preference on the eyelashes, and it'll be a lot easier in the long run. Okay, so there's also glue that is involved when it comes to putting on your eyelashes, and glue is just as important as the actual eyelash. So I feel like the top 2 lash glues are by Duo and, oh, not that one, and a lash script by Ardell. For me, I definitely prefer Duo. I feel like the lashes last a lot longer with this one. I use the clear white one. There's also a dark shade as well, but I feel like the clear one is a lot more forgiving. When you use the dark one, say you already have your eyeshadow done and everything, and when you put on your eyelash with the dark glue, and if you accidentally misplace it and try to move it around, that dark glue is going to stay there, and it's a lot more visible than the clear glue. I also use this one by the Face Shop, and I really didn't like it. When it dried, it like still felt tacky and it was very shiny. And since it had a brush applicator, it got really messy around the packaging, and it was kind of gross. There are different ones in the market. I know there's one really good one by Revlon. I just haven't tried it out yet. So some benefits with a brush applicator: you're able to just take it out and apply it directly on the band, and you have a lot of control when it comes to that. But with the squeeze bottles, you are able to directly put this on the eyelash, but I feel like you have less control because it's hard to say how much is actually going to come out at once. I've done it before and accidentally put too much, and it got all over the eyelash and it was such a big mess. But there are ways around it. Like what I usually do is I squeeze some glue on top of my hand and kind of just drag the eyelash through the glue, and it works really well for me in that way. The application of glue to the eyelash is really different for everyone. There's no real popular way of doing it, so go test it out and see what works for you. So when it comes to extra tools that you need when applying your fake lashes, you definitely need, at least for me, tweezers. I feel like when I use my fingers, it kind of like gets in the way. You're not able to like see what's going on when you're looking in the mirror, but with tweezers it's a lot more precise, and you're able to grab things easier, push things down. You can even use the end of the tweezers as well to really push it in there. So I feel like tweezers are definitely a must-have. Also scissors, because I feel like 90% of the time the eyelash band is too long for me, so I have to cut them pretty much every time. So scissors are also a must-have. These scissors are pretty big. If you have one of those manicure scissors, that will work even better. So you also need eyeliner, and I suggest you get a pencil liner and a liquid liner as well. And this is basically just to seamlessly blend your fake eyelashes with your real eyelashes. You also need a mascara. And mascara is great for blending the actual hairs all together, the fake and the real. I usually go through with the mascara and really try to push them together so they look like they're all in the same family. So I know that was a lot of information, but I feel like all that information is really necessary if you are new to the fake eyelash game. I hope it was really informative and not too boring for you guys. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. The next video will actually be me putting on the fake lashes, and I'll tell you my preference, some tips and tricks, and how to save money when choosing lashes for yourself. Alright guys, so that's all I have for today. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.